a current favourites video. I sort of missed like the end of June, probably will miss July, so this is like a mid-July favourites video. Just thought I'd go through some of the things that I've been enjoying over the past couple of months. So without further ado, let's get started. The first two are sort of like beauty related, and the first one is this lipstick. This is what I'm wearing at the moment, so it's like a pinky nude with that slight mauve undertone. This is by Tarte, and it is called Salt Life, and this is one of their Colour Splash lipsticks. So unfortunately this one broke in transit to me, but as you can see it's a gorgeous sort of pinky mauve colour, but definitely more on the pink side. Really gorgeous as an everyday colour. I really like it. The next product, so the last beauty product really, is my new deodorant. I prefer to wear roll-on deodorants. I always find it really affects my throat when I spray aerosol, so this is what I've always sort of gone for. So this is one of the Dove Go Fresh, and it's a new scent. It's apple and white tea, and if you've not smelt this, you totally need to. It just smells really good, like almost like a really nice like shampoo or conditioner. That's the sort of smell it gives off. It's really quite a sweet scent, but not so sweet that you're like, I don't want to put that on me. It's really like fresh and clean, which I like. So those have been sort of beauty related. Other things that I can sort of hold up and show you. This skirt has been a favourite. This is from H&M. This is actually a floor length maxi skirt. First thing I love about this is that the fact I can wear it. I am about 5'1". I do have to wear some sort of like wedge or like slight platform with it, so this doesn't completely trail on the ground, but so far, you know, the ends aren't looking frayed from wearing it. So it is a maxi skirt, but I don't know if you can see, it's basically got a short skirt underneath, like a layer. So it's all sort of solid here, and then it goes from like the thigh down quite sheer, and it's just like a sheer fabric. It's got two slits up the side. It's really nice, perfect for summer. I've really enjoyed pairing it with either like a pink top or like a graphic tee. There's lots of like colours that you can bring out of this, so really nice, and definitely check them out if you are on the shorter side, because it's not necessarily for petite, but you can get away with it. So that is that, and they do it in a few other different colours as well, which is nice, but this is my favourite, like the tropical, I was going to say scent, but print. I have a pair of shoes to show you next. So I had to try and order some new sandals for this season. I've recently gone through all my shoes, decided what really needed to be tossed because I've had them for such a while, and I ended up getting these. These are from Dorothy Perkins, and they're just like a brown sandal. They're almost gladiator style, but not as like extreme. They're quite like a plain brown sandal, and these were fairly inexpensive, and I found them really comfortable. So that is what I've been wearing as my go-to sort of sandal for this summer. And I have a bag favourite to show you. This was supposed to be an early birthday present from Darren, but he was like telling me to save it to my birthday, but then we had a event to go to, and I knew this would be perfect. I wore it actually with that skirt and like a light pink top, and it looked really nice. And it is this Radley bag. I don't know if you'll be able to find it anymore. I actually purchased this from the outlet, and it was like the last one left. They do this in different colours. I believe they still do it in like black. You might be able to find it online, but it's a gorgeous sort of pebbled leather in this gorgeous taupe grey colour. It definitely shows up more sort of like browny taupe in some lights, and then in others it shows up more pink. It definitely depends like what you put up next to it, whether it brings out the grey or the pink in it. but I've really been loving this. I've worn it the past couple of days as well. You can fit a lot in it. I've got my Instax camera, purse, glasses case, I had my keys in there earlier, and my little vlog camera, and it's just a really nice crossbody that you can fit a lot in, but it's still like small enough that you can just wear day to day. So really been liking that. It's got 2 zip pockets on the front and then another magnetic closure on the back. So if you can find anything like this or similar, then we'd totally recommend it. We then have some sort of tech favourites. The first one is this. This, I don't know where Darren got it from. It's a fast wireless charging stand, and he actually had this at work, but since he no longer needs it at work, it's just been roaming around at home, and I love this to put my phone on. So it does have a wire obviously that you can plug in and charge it for, but even if I'm not charging it, I just like have it there, or when I'm like cooking dinner of an evening, I can just rest my phone on it, watch any TV or Netflix, and it's really been quite nice little accessory to have. It is a bit cumbersome, so it wouldn't be something that I travel with, but if you've got like a fixed desk or somewhere that you can just keep it out all the time, then this is really cool. And like I said, it charges as well, which is nice. The other sort of tech thing has been, I've really been getting back into using my SLR camera. If you've not been following me for a while, I actually used to be really big into photography, studied it at college, and have a couple of lenses. You know, I was quite serious about it back in the day, and then I sort of went off. I just resorted to my like point and shoot and my phone, which is great. They have their own purposes, but there's something you can't beat about an SLR. In particular, I've been using this macro lens. So I have the Canon 450D, which shows sort of just how long ago I was into photography, but it's still holding up well, touch wood. Cardboard there. And yeah, I've got 3 lenses. The standard one it came with, a telephoto lens, and then this one, which is the 58mm macro lens, and I've really been liking getting back into it. I'll insert a couple of pictures that I took. So I've really been liking photographing the dogs, and also lots of like, we've got some new plants and they like to attract all the bugs, and I like going to the garden centre and seeing all the bees and trying to capture some photos. It's definitely been, I loved getting back into it. Darren has not liked it so much because I take forever at doing it. I'm such a perfectionist, but it's nice to sort of get back into it and use those manual settings again. And it definitely takes a lot of trial and error, especially to get the focus right on this thing, and making sure, because it's got such a small depth of field, that you're getting the right thing in focus that you like. But nonetheless, enjoying that. So one thing that is in the garden, so I'll have to insert a clip of it, has been our new hammock. We got this from Aldi. It was about £49, I want to say. They were advertising it as like a camping hammock, but we've just like left it out in the garden. I love this thing. It is my new favourite thing. The only thing I think could improve it is if it had like a parasol attached to it, so I'm gonna have to try and figure that out somehow. But I've been loving it. It's super comfortable. It's a nice alternative to having like a reclining chair. You can sleep in it. I have nap tested it and it was great. It's got a cup holder. It's got like a little built-in like pouch in a sense that you can put like a book or a magazine in, or snacks, as I often do. And I've really been enjoying spending afternoons and evenings just like chilling in it as it's like being blown in the breeze. It's lovely. I would definitely recommend it, and it feels like it's going to hold up pretty well, so I am pleased with that purchase. So I will go on to other multimedia stuff. So I finished, I think it's season 11 of The Big Bang Theory. It's whichever is the last season on Netflix. So I got up to, spoiler if you're not up to date-ish on things, because I know I've watched everything up until the last season that they have aired. So I'm up to where Sheldon and Amy get married, and I like bawled my eyes out. It was a very emotional moment in the household that day. So that is where I'm up to. I'm trying to desperately find the last season. I've got like the end half of the season recorded on TV, but I've not got the first half, so I need to find that. But yes, I've just been really slowly over the past weeks and months been watching it as like I'm cooking, or I'm just having it in the background, and just it's one of those like easy listening TV shows that you can just watch, and you don't need too much like brain thought to watch it, which is nice. I've also been watching a lot of Disney vlogs and travel vlogs, because in a couple of months we are going to Florida, which we can't wait. So a lot of like packing and travel tips, and like I said, lots of Disney vlogs and Disney hauls, which I'm obsessed with at the moment. And then we went to the cinema. We ended up watching Toy Story 4 and we fell in love with it. I've never been a massive Toy Story fan. Darren is a huge fan of it. He was definitely the right age when it first came out. I was maybe a little bit too young for it. But this last one really, the character Forky and some of the other new characters really just made it for me. I thought they had loads of funny aspects, and it was like really quite witty throughout, and I loved it. And I've since bought like some Forky merch for when we go out there, and yeah, I just thought it was really cool, and I can't wait to sort of go to Toy Story Land when we're there in towards the end of the year. So one food thing I have is, in a couple of like videos back I mentioned, I think it's the Crunchy Nut Clusters cereal. Well, we have found the Aldi alternative, which is by their brand Harvest Morn, and it's the honey and nut clusters with milk chocolate. It's not like dead on, but it is a pretty good alternative, cheaper alternative. This is really just our weekend cereal, as a little treat on the weekends, so it doesn't get used up terribly easily or quickly, which is good. To be honest, we can go through, between me and Darren, having 4 bowls out of this, and we can go through 1 a week. So it's definitely, I find with most like cluster based cereals, you don't get as much as like they recommend per serving, because you always put way too much in than what it says you should. So that's been one of my favourite foods and like cereals this month. I have one book favourite, which I'll talk about more when I do a book update video, and this is The Fifth Letter by Nicola Moriarty. She is the sister to Leanne Moriarty, which did Big Little Lies, and I was pleasantly surprised by this book. It's about these 4 friends that go away on an annual trip together, and they each decide that they want to write a letter, just like confessing some of their darkest secrets, and there ends up being a 5th letter that gets written. So obviously one woman has written 2 letters. This 5th letter she tried to discard, and obviously it's been found, and they're all trying to figure out who wrote which letter, and just going through all their secrets and bringing up the past, really. So I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 stars, which, like I said, it was a pleasant surprise for me to pick this up. And yeah, so the last thing I want to mention is an event that happened this month, and that was we got to meet an astronaut. If you know me, I love NASA and space and astronauts. We're definitely going to the Kennedy Space Center when we go to Florida. I have been once before, but I can't remember it because I was quite young. But I've always wanted to meet an astronaut. I've wanted to go to like a talk, a presentation, and it came up, just like popped up on my Facebook that this was happening. I think probably all of the events have finished now, but obviously with it being 50 years since Apollo, they've been doing sort of more in the way of speeches and talks and things. So at Southampton Uni they had astronaut Tony Antonelli come and talk, and it was about a 2.5 hour talk. We got to take photos with him. I will insert some pictures, and we really just loved it. It was great to hear his own experience. He was really funny. We got to ask loads of questions. I asked him, obviously because I work with eyes, I asked him how eyes affect astronauts, and it was just a lovely experience, and one that I will remember forever, really. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favourites have been recently, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!